I know it's been about a week and a half and we said we'd be back before the draft, but sorry about that because it takes time to upload a video. So we're back here for a draft recap wrap-up show, and we're going to talk about the Lions and their draft. Last time on episode 1, I said that we need to get a player that could come right in and step up and make an impact with our first round pick. And with that pick, we did. I believe so anyway. We took Nick Fairley with the 13th pick out of Auburn. He's a junior, and he's 6'3", 290 pounds. First team All-American. He was the defensive MVP in the national title game against the Oregon Ducks. Last season, he had 24 tackles for a loss and 11.5 sacks, which were single-season Auburn records. Now imagine what the wrecking crew can be when this guy comes on the line with Ndamukong Suh, Corey Williams, Cliff Avril, and Kyle Van Bosch. Last season, the Lions had 44 team sacks, which was good for 4th in the entire NFL, and only the Pittsburgh Steelers, who were 1st in the NFL, they had 48 sacks. So we're 4 sacks behind. So by adding that one guy, I feel like we can get up and be 1st in the NFL in sacks. Now, he was also the Lombardi Award winner, which goes to the best defensive lineman in the NCAA. Now, in 2010, we also drafted a Lombardi Award winner in Ndamukong Suh. We are the first team in NFL history to draft Lombardi Award winners in back-to-back seasons. Now, to let you know, yes, that's going to be a dominant defensive front. It is really going to help. Nick Fairley was also an offensive tackle in high school and was highly recruited. He was the 28th offensive lineman on the ESPN Scouts.com coming out of high school. He also played tight end and had 5 catches for 150 yards. This kid, he's just an all-around talent. He can play both sides of the ball if he needs to. He can get Jeff Backus right out of there and throw in Nick Fairley, playing both ways. So, we're going to move on to our first pick in the 2nd round, Titus Young out of Boise State. He was a senior, 5'11", 170 pounds. He's a speedster, man. At first, when they made that pick, I did not like it one single bit. But then as I listened to the draft reviews, Mel Kiper and Tommy Shea are both saying that this guy was a steal. I just didn't see it. Last year, he had 71 catches, 1,200 yards, and 9 touchdowns receiving. In his career, he has 25 touchdowns. 21 of them were for over 20 yards, and 16 of them were for over 40 yards. This guy is just a burner. He's going to make huge plays down the sidelines in the slot. Pretty soon, Burleson might be scooting into the slot, and Titus Young goes to the other side, challenging Calvin for catches. Now, they're talking about Titus Young has that type of ability, and they're comparing him to, guess who? DeSean Jackson from the Philadelphia Eagles. If this guy even compares to half of what DeSean Jackson does, we got a hell of a pick right there in the 2nd round. And then we're going to move up to our other 2nd round pick. Yeah, who knew we had 2? Not me, until the Lions did the same thing they did last year and traded up to get a running back once again. And last year, Jahvid Best turned out to be good, you know, and he's got some skills. And we think he's really going to improve on last year after this turf toe heals up. And Michael LeSure was the guy we traded up to get. He was the 2nd-rated running back in the draft at 5'11", 225 pounds. He's not the fastest guy, though. He ran a 4.65 40, but he has a good balance and power to run over defensive backs and even linebackers if he has to. He was a 2nd-team All-American. He was the Texas Bowl MVP, which they won. And this past season, he had 1,700 rushing yards and 17 touchdowns. He also added 3 receiving touchdowns on 175 receiving yards. And one big stat that I like about Michael DeShore, he never fumbled the football, not even one single time in his college football career. Woo! We like that a lot. We really like that a lot. I think we got very, very good value in those first 3 picks. Now you guys say, hey, we didn't really have a lot of picks though, you know. It's like we only got a few guys. Well, listen, let me tell you something. What the Lions did last year, Martin Mayhew running the show over here in the D. He traded all them picks that everyone's saying, oh, we didn't get. Well, listen to the guys who we did actually get, but we had them a year ahead of time. We had Shaun Hill, who started most every game this season for the Lions, and he was pretty productive too, you know, so you can't complain. We got him for a 5th round pick from the 49ers. Another one of them picks was cornerback Alphonso Smith, who started, had 5 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries, and was looking like this guy was going to be a Pro Bowler until he gave up that deep pass to Braylon right before the half when we lost that game to the Jets. Another guy we got, Tony Scheffler, he was pretty productive before he got hurt. Also, I think the big name on that list was offensive guard Rob Sims, who we got for a 4th round pick from the Seattle Seahawks. He started all 16 games, and he signed a 4-year contract extension, and he'll be our starter this year again. And then one other guy who we also got from Seattle for a 7th round pick was defensive end Lawrence Jackson. Yeah, you say, yeah, he only had a couple of sacks, but, you know, we got a nice defensive rotation going on. So, and he was also a former 1st round pick and a 1st team All-American at USC. Some of the free agents now, you know, we have other holes to fill, and some of the holes we're trying to fill now is cornerback. Now, some of those free agents that are out there is Nnamdi Asomugha from the Raiders. Man, this guy is a stud. He's better than Darrelle Revis, but he, you know, Revis is still young. He's where Asomugha was a few years ago when people were actually throwing the ball to his side of the field. So I would love to get that guy, and the fact that we didn't draft a corner in the draft makes a top talent corner want to come here and play because they know they're not going to have to compete against the 1st round pick. Another corner who we're looking at from the Washington Redskins is Carlos Rogers. He's a stud too. I don't really have many stats on him, but he's a good player too. A linebacker that we're looking at is former Jim Schwartz defensive linebacker from when he was the defensive coordinator of the Titans, Stephen Tulo. The way the CBA works out is players are always signed on a contract for 6 years before they become a free agent when they come in the league. Now with the new CBA, that will go to 4 years, so you won't see these rookie quarterbacks like Stafford signs for 6 years. Now you'll see Cam Newton, when the new CBA comes out, he'll sign for 4 years, and then he has a chance to go. I think what it was is, you know, rookies were tired of staying on one team for so long. This is for early round picks. And now let's kind of get to the schedule a little bit of where I'm thinking. I should have threw this in earlier when I was talking about our defensive stats and stuff like that. But the Lions had 6 games decided by 5 points or less. One of those was the Calvin Johnson not completing the process in week 1. So, you know, we had 6 wins. We could 6 more. We could have tweaked them out and got 12 wins and made the playoffs. Now, our division is a tough division with the Packers going and winning the Super Bowl. The Bears going to the NFC title game. You know, our division is tough, so I'm looking forward to some things that are going on next season. Now, one of the key things, keeping in our role of the division, is I'm excited that the Minnesota Vikings drafted Christian Ponder, Florida State quarterback, with the 12th pick in the draft, because this guy's a bum. We're going to wipe the Vikings off the planet. If you remember, I was saying that my sleeper pick was running back Juwan Jones. Yeah, he ran a 4.29 40 and all that. Well, he went in the 4th round to the Oakland Raiders to go with their potent rushing attack in Darren McFadden and Michael Bush. And they also, they didn't have a 1st round pick, but their first pick in the 2nd round, they took a top grade center. So they're looking to make some moves here. And the Lions had the highest draft grade on all the scouting boards all around America. Mel Kiper gave us an A. The next best grade was an A-. So we had the best grade. Tommy Shea says that we had the best first 2 rounds of the draft of any team in the draft. So we are looking stellar on paper. Just a little bit of other things. In the 5th round, we drafted linebacker Douglas Hogue. And in the 7th round, we drafted offensive tackle Johnny Colbert. I don't expect these guys to really make the team. You know, I think they're just kind of fill-in players, you know. The Tigers are on a 7-game losing streak. I don't know what's going on with these guys. They just brought up Scott Sizemore to play second base. He's batted .401 in the minors, and they sent Will Rhymes back down. And the Detroit Red Wings are 0-2 in their series to the Sharks. These guys better get it back together. I was growing a playoff beard until they lost both them games. I said, man, this thing's itchy. It's gone. And from the Real G Money TV Sports Talk Football Show, see ya next week.